Let's turn either of these boards into some quick cash. Heck, might as well just do both of them. For this build, all you need is a miter saw and a drill, plus one of these two things, because you don't have to have a workbench. David Picket makes things in the park all the time. Pencils. Okay, get out of the comment section. Main thing is you're not going to see a table saw. Chicken feed. Free plans are available on my website, WhosTheVoss.com. All of my build tutorials, project plans, helpful guides, and marketing photos are free to everyone, because an informational video that requires you to pay money at the end is known as an advertisement. With one board, you can get 2 products from our piece of pine, and you can get 4 products from every 3 pickets. Not really sure why we're by the miter saw, because our first step is sanding. Slap on a 120 grit sanding disc. It's easier to sand our board as one big piece. I also put a towel or moving blanket down to prevent scuffing the reverse side and to cut down the vibration. Our first cut is to remove this nasty rough end of the board. Measure down 5.5 inches, cut a slice. Measure down 6 inches, you know what to do. Then one more time, 6 inches, make a cut. Then measure down 5 3/4 inches and adjust your saw's tilt to 30 degrees. Flip your board, reset your saw's tilt back to 0 degrees, and measure down another 5 3/4 inches. Measure down 2 3/4 inches, return your tilt back to 30 degrees, and cut your 6th board. After flipping my board, I notice that this knot is going to interrupt my 2 3/4 inch next piece. However, I do need an 11.5 inch piece that has that 30 degree miter. With my board already flipped, measure down the 11.5 inches and make my cut. Now I can flip my board, measure that 2 3/4 inch, reset my saw back to 0, and make that matching piece. That's all the cuts for project 1. Project 2, I still have 51 inches of that 8-foot board. I feed my board in from the left side of my miter saw in order to cut up my pieces. And that's why that 11.5 inch larger cut is the very last piece that I cut out of this project. If you don't have to dodge any knots and you cut everything out exactly as specified in the plans, this is what you'll have left over before you make that final 11.5 inch cut. Our first step is to turn that 90 degree end into a 30 degree angle. And once you've made that cut, you would flip your board, measure down 11.5 inches, but uh-oh, that gets your hand toes pretty dang close to that big fast spinny thing. So what you could do instead is once your board has that 30 degree angle, flip it around, measure down 10 5/8 inch. What I like to do is start on my 1 inch mark, gives me a little bit more accuracy. Then I measure down 11 5/8 inch. And with that, my angles are now correct. My hand toes are all happy. Life's good. After cutting out both projects, this is all you're gonna have left over. Not much room for error. Then grab that 5.5, 5 3/4, and 5 3/4 inch piece. Grab some sort of a straight ruler, put them across here, and we're just making a simple mark in the center. We're gonna grab that 4-inch hole saw. My little pilot is very dull, so I like to just grab a drill bit about the same size and just pilot this guy out. And now that we've found the exact center, we can take that 5 3/4 inch piece and line this guy up on the bottom, because there is a little bit of a lip. It's 1/4 inch larger. With them lined up, I can take that drill bit and do that one more time. Our 4-inch hole saw will always choose violence, so I just move this party down to the ground. I cut about halfway through the material with that 4-inch hole saw, flip my board over, and finish my cut. It makes our waste easier to remove from the hole saw, and it prevents tear out. Now let's say you didn't want to run out and buy a 4-inch hole saw. It could be about 40 bucks. I do a lot of projects with 3.5 and 4-inch hole saws, and it just gives you a perfect circle each and every time. Another method would be to find the center, take a compass set to 2 inches and draw your circle, or you can reach for a trusty old can of stain, take the lid off, center it best you can, and get a perfect circle that way. Then take a 5/8 Forstner bit, drill somewhere near the edge of that line, take your jigsaw, and just cut around each of them to get that piece removed. It's not going to be actively visible once we're finished. I like to use a jigsaw blade that is made for cutting metal. It gives you a lot cleaner of a cut. If you use a blade made for cutting wood, it has its teeth a little bit farther apart. It's going to give you a lot more tear out and trouble. Mama's got to feed her baby bird. Tweet, 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 tweet. And we are now at assembly. I am using a 1 3/8 inch 18 gauge brad nail for the pine version. If you guys are making it out of a cedar picket, you're going to reach for a 1 inch 18 gauge brad nail. You're going to take that 11.5 inch piece. Sorry that it blends into the countertop so well. Titebond 3 because it's the most expensive glue. You could use Titebond 2 or 1 as long as they are not going to put this outside. All of our glue ups are going to be end grain glue ups in this project. So I like to put the glue on, let it set up for just a minute. You can see how it's kind of getting ripply. You can see near the edges, it's getting sucked in and absorbed into the material. And that's because the board acts like a little straw. You pour glue on it, it sucks that glue in. And what happens is by the time I go to glue the pieces together, the board has sucked all the glue into it and there's not much left over to put the two pieces together. I line up that 2 3/4 inch piece with what is going to be the bottom of our project. I make sure that the center is aligned and then I shoot my first nail into that so I can put a good amount of pressure down and not have to worry about the nail going into my hand. Repeat for our other side. You'll have something that looks like this. I'm going to apply glue to these top two pieces. Watch it dry for a second. Then take the 5 3/4 inch pieces, make sure that my angles are lined up, and they go just like this. And because this is kind of the top of our project, I only shoot 2 nails, about 3/4 to 1 inch from the edge of our project. And then apply glue to both of these, stare at it for about 30 seconds. And now both those 6 inch pieces are going to go inside of here. I do these one at a time, and you want to make sure that these joints look nice and tight. They're not all wonky. I messed it up when I put it on my head. 2 nails for these. And I put 2 nails through the bottom into each of those pieces. Last thing to do is put the piece of resistance on the top. Make sure that you're going with the grain direction, unless you liked it like that. It's up to you. And there you have it. One completed project. Go pick up a few of these 4-inch terracotta pots before they're all sold out locally. Plug them into your project. Boom, bam, bing. 30 bucks all day. Also, something that's selling very well are these little things. They hang. You can put your plants in them just like so. They're a hot sell, and that's why I thought I'd include something else that was terracotta pot related. 30 bucks a piece, doesn't matter if it's pine or if it's cedar. You profit a lot more off of the cedar ones than you are for the pine. That's just because of the cost of lumber. So let's go over that real quick. These are the stats for our 1x6x8, 538 for the board, 145 for the pots times 6 because I get 2 from each board, 2 cents for glue, 10 cents for nails, 2 cents for electricity, 1 cent for blade usage, 5 cents on the stain. I am coming out to $14.28 per board. That's what it costs me. $60 minus our $14.28. It takes me about 20 minutes to build this project. I get out to the garage, maybe it's 10-15 minutes in the morning. After lunch, it might slow down to 25 minutes. So our average 20 minutes per build. When you build this out of pickets, that's a completely different story. 3 pickets, I am profiting $91.96. 328 times 3 for the pickets, 145 times 3 per project times 4 because I get 4 projects out of those 3 pickets, $17.40 for that. 8 cents for glue, 40 cents for nails, 8 cents for electricity, 4 cents for the blade usage, 20 cents on stain, $28.04 is what it cost me total. $30 times that 4, $120, brings me out to $91.96 profit off of 3 cedar fence pickets. I primarily built a 1x6 model just for you guys. I know a lot of people can't find pickets. I only build them out of pickets. And that's because it's an outdoor ready lumber. It's a heck of a lot cheaper. You're paying $8.70 just for these guys. I don't want to jack the price of my lumber up as well. And cedar pickets, it matches all the planter boxes. It's ready to go. Bugs don't like it. There are tons of other fun builds on the channel. Go check out that when you want to start selling, where you want to sell those products. It's going to help you guys build this little hobby into a full-time production. You're welcome. That's chicken. We have another chicken. My name's Aaron. I don't know how to end these, so see you later.